Every year in May, the Motion Picture Television Department, or MPTV, hosts an animation night where students get to premiere their hard work on a film festival with their classmates. This year, I thought I'd like to invite two students onto the show to give us a little preview of their animation work. So this is Mirza, and this is Abbas.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
So tell me your last name.
My last name, Anas.
Anas?
Yes.
Mirza Anas and?
Hussein, Abbas Hussein.
Abbas Hussein. So welcome. So now, we just clarified a little earlier, you really are animation students within the Motion Picture Television division.
Specifically, yeah.
And how long have you guys been studying here?
I've been studying for, would be the end of my third year here.
Okay. And this is your first year, right?
Right, because I'm with the CCI program that's only allowed me to be here for 1 year.
And you're an international student from?
Indonesia.
Congratulations, that's a big deal. And you didn't speak English until just this year, and you sound incredible.
Thank you.
I can attest. So, you each brought your final clip, and so on this night, all the students show what they've animated. And when you're talking about animation, you're talking about, explain to them 2D versus 3D.
Well, 2D animation, a lot of it has to do with you have to plan out a lot of your specific moods, and you're drawing each in-between frame. So you have keyframe animations that are your extreme of emotion, and then you have to in-between those frames. But in 3D animation, you select where your keyframes are going to be, and then the computer in-betweens for you.
Yeah, actually in 3D, it's also started with 2D. So you
do 3D,
yes,
right? So your project is in 3D.
Right.
I want to show each one, and that way the audience knows what we're talking about, because they're probably like, what are you talking about?
What is this 3D?
So basically we're talking about animation is cartoons, special effects, those kinds of things. And what do you want to do with this degree when you're done?
I plan on transferring to DePaul University and furthering my education, and eventually working for a studio either within Chicago or California, doing at least interning or doing something there where
animation.
Yeah, within animation.
Like for a video game or for a production company?
Well, just basically anything.
Anybody?
Anything that will allow me to continue working on animation and making. It's allowing me to get better, I guess, and allowing me to further myself as a creator.
Let's take a look at your clip right now, okay? So the audience can see what we're talking about. Okay, so what we just saw was a 2D pencil sketch, because this is your first draft. This is not done.
Yes, this is just it's just keyframe animation.
Okay.
So I haven't really gotten back to in between a lot of those scenes. It's going to be a lot smoother. It's going to have a lot more clear motion. It's also going to be inked digitally through Photoshop.
Right.
So it's going to have a little bit of a crisper look. I do want to have that catching kind of raw look to it still, but I want it to be at least a little bit cleaner.
So if I would have made a video or an animation, I would have made one person walking. That looks so hard because they're fighting.
Yeah.
So the arms cross and everything crosses. That seems like it's harder to keep track of.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. I really planned it out. I boxed myself, which really helped with understanding the motion, understanding the kind of the physics of where something's going to be, the motion of how a punch is going to move, and all of that other stuff. Because I think a lot of times people just kind of generalize what a punch looks like and generalize what a lot of that stuff is, but it has a very specific look and has a very specific timing down to it.
And the reaction of the other person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's take a look at your clip.
All right.
It's very different, right? So what is the audience going to see? Tell us what it is. It's a 3D.
So it's a 3D animation built by Maya, and it's about a 3-wheel drone that's wandering in an apocalyptic city, and he being picked up by flying drones and blah blah blah. Spoiler.
Okay, so it's about a what that's going through a city?
A three-wheel drone.
A three-wheeled drone
Right.
going through a city. So let's take a look. Okay, so the difference between yours was definitely hand-drawn.
Yes.
Yours is drawn with?
It's generated by the software.
Software
it's kinda
generated?
Like, yeah, it's kind of like digitally sculpting.
Okay.
It's a lot like clay.
Like playing with clay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Digitally sculpting.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a,
But you create the character of the machine that's going through the drone.
Right.
Okay.
So it's I built like the 3D model of it.
You built a
by-
3D model?
Right.
Oh.
So first I designed the character first on sheet of paper.
Okay.
And then I visualize how it's in 3D and start sculpting it and make it separate.
Wow. How long did it take to make that?
For this project, it took me like a half of the semester actually
To make what we just
that
saw.
graph, yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's dedication. Now, is this what you want to do when you go back to Indonesia?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to be an animator as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
And do you want to work in television or video or for gaming, or do you have a choice, a preference?
So after this program ended, I want to try to join a studio.
Wonderful.
So I want to try to apply for like a job in animation, maybe in New Zealand.
And maybe in New Zealand, wow.
Yeah, it's closer to Indonesia, but I really want to try to work with Pixar in the future.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's really good to have a very clear vision of what you want, because if you can dream it and you can see it, you can grab it.
Right.
I really believe it. And I don't care if you work in Pixar in the mailroom for the first week, you get to know the people who work there, you get to know the culture, and then you move up.
Right.
Right? I'm a big believer in work in the right place, right? And then you get to understand how the company works. Well, I think that's awesome. I'm really proud of you. So when is the show?
May 14th.
May 14th.
Starts at 6:30. It's like the doors open at 6:30, and then the show itself starts at 7. It'll showcase about 15 different students and their work. The projects are all pretty like crazy. They're all really wild. There's one about like like a show of like there's these two twins and they're like fighting. They're trying to find these items, and it's a lot of really cool stuff though.
How many videos would we get to see if we went to see the show? 10, 15?
Well, because they're going to show everyone in our class, so that's about 15, but they're also going to show people from other classes and like the road to being a student within the animation portfolio class. So the show will show pieces from the history of animation class, the introduction to animation class, the 3D animation class, and just you'll get
A little bit of everybody.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour show actually.
So are either of you graduating this semester?
I am.
You're graduating, and you'll get your certificate for your
Right.
CCI program for 1 year.
Yeah.
And do you get a certificate in animation when you graduate from here?
I'm getting the associates in animation.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I think that's such an interesting career, but it's hard.
Yes.
You guys picked a hard career.
Yeah. But it's so fun.
But
like
it's
it's
fun
just like like if you love doing it and you love like working on it, it doesn't feel like that bad. But like it's also like when you're just in a room by yourself for
Right.
like
Hours.
5, 6, 7 hours a day.
And especially in Indonesia, this kind of work is unusual because
Is it?
people want to work in office and
Right.
in engineering and stuff. So I decided to choose this path because it's fun and this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Thank you both for coming on. I'm so proud of both of you, and I wish you all the best. And congratulations on your certificate and graduating. And thank you for coming to spend a year learning in our country. And I hope that New Zealand works out.
Hopefully, yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you for
thank
having
you.
us, yeah.
And I look forward to seeing your show. And for all of you out there, this year's MPTV Animation Night is on Tuesday, May 14th at 7 p.m. The event is free and it's open to the public, so please come and support our talented students. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you at the theater and next time on Backstage Buzz. Thank you.